SabPaisa, one of India's leading payment gateways, offers a single platform for payment collection to payouts. We are the only payment gateway that supports all types of payments, cards, net banking, UPI, wallets, and offline. In this video, we will learn to integrate the SabPaisa payment gateway with the Node.js application. Before we begin, we must take the credentials from your account manager and save the credentials in your system. Open the Node.js standard integration document from the SabPaisa website. Start the integration process. Below are the steps to be followed. Step 1. Initialize the Node.js code for the SabPaisa payment gateway. To begin with, please open the project and install all the necessary dependencies for our Node.js application. Once you have completed that, create a new file named request.js. Import all the packages one by one. We'll be using Express to set up our server, EJS for rendering HTML, and other libraries to handle encryption, HTTP requests, and random string generation. Next, we've set up encryption details using the AES-128 CBC algorithm. The authentication key and initialization vector IV are crucial for secure communication with the SabPaisa API. Two functions, encrypt and decrypt, have been defined for secure data transmission. These functions use the crypto module to encrypt and decrypt information using the specified algorithm, key, and IV. There's also a function called randomStir generates a random string of a specified length from a given character set. This is useful for creating unique transaction IDs. We initialize the Express server to listen on port 3000 and serve static files, including CSEs. Now let's look at the endpoint in a PG request for initiating a payment request. We set up various parameters such as payer name, email, mobile number, client transaction ID, amount, client code, username, password, callback URL, channel ID, and SabPaisa URL. Change the URL for staging or production based on your requirement. These details are set up for the payment. Gateway request. Please replace the credentials with actual one. There's flexibility to include extra parameters. In our example, we use two parameters, class and role. This can be handy if you need to pass additional information related to your application or transaction up to 20 values. Now comes the interesting part. We construct a data string with all the details we gathered. We can pass the extra parameters as UDF1 to UDF20. The constructed request string is encrypted using the encryption function we defined earlier. This ensures that sensitive information is transmitted securely to the payment gateway. Coming to rendering the form. First, we need to create a file. In that file, we create a form that will submit the encrypted data to SabPaisa URL. The form includes hidden input fields for the encrypted data, client code, and a submit button. Coming to request file form data, including the SabPaisa URL, encrypted data, and client code, is prepared for rendering. An HTML form is rendered using the EJS template with the form data. Next, handling payment gateway response. We create the HTML file for response next. We have a route get pgres dedicated to handling the callback from the payment gateway. The response from SabPaisa is decrypted and the information is rendered using another HTML form. Don't forget to define the callback URL to get the response after payment is done. Step 2. Access the SabPaisa checkout page. After executing the code, proceed to initiate the payment by clicking on Go to PG. This action will redirect you to the checkout page where you can select the payment mode, enter the payment details, and complete the transaction. Once the payment is done, the response will be generated. Thank you. Visit sabpaisa.in to know more information.